Greetings one and all, this is vk3sl and welcome to our test program on 160 and also on UHF, and also I might mention that we are testing also on 40 metres at the moment, trying out new systems. And that was the music of Eber, his Fluke and Shadow, the Andante movement from a very beautiful pastoral work which has only recently become known to me, so really beautiful. Okay, folks, we'll get ready to start up the engines. We have had a few teething issues here getting 40 metres on, only because it's affecting the muting arrangement with our input. So I think I've got it sorted. We've got ferrites abound, and we did do an extensive test the other night in which I was everything seemed to work, but of course as soon as you get close to the node for our direct-to-air missions, we endure some problems, of course. Murphy's Law. But look, we'll give it a whirl, see how we go. So I haven't had a chance to give Frank a call, so hopefully you're there, Frank. You're very welcome to join us. And we value any signal reports going out on 160. That's on 1865 kilohertz. Going out on 40 metres. That's on 7.285 megahertz, and also on UHF, it's 438.725. So, and also streaming online, I should mention as well. So that's the name of the game. Now, before my inactivity thing times out, I've just got to quickly adjust the SDR to make sure that everything is right. I'm monitoring off the Ironstone range today, but it seems to be going out okay on 40. We're only putting about 20 watts out on 40 meters. Everything else is at full strength. Anyhow, that's the name of the game. We will persevere with this test and see how we go. I'll check the muting again on the input frequency on VHF. We do have crossband duplex, that's the way it works. And we do also begin with a 20s hit each and every day. We do our test program, and one of the enduring, should I say, qualities, one of the enduring aspects of our program is to play original formats direct to air. So in this instance I'll be playing a Columbia 78. This is pretty early. This is from the this is a Columbia Graffanola record from about 1920-21, so beginning of the decade, and it's a track played by the Waldorf Astoria Singing Orchestra. It's called The Vamp. So we'll slap it on. I can't profess to have tested this or tried it out. It's new to me, completely new to me, so I really don't know what we're in for here. But I think we have enough resilience in the system to make this work. Are we ready? I think so. Let me get this switched in, that switched out, and we do a needle drop. I'm vk3sl.
While they're playing just now, guess I gotta go now. Everybody's happy, everybody's happy, everybody's happy. Good.
Okay, that's an unusual record. It's the Wood Office Tour Singing Orchestra, going way back at record dating from a period just after the First World War. And we should find out what's on the other side. These discs don't show up too often. The other side's called Behind Your Silken Veil. It's a medley foxtrot. And, okay, played by the Happy Six. Now, they were, I think, a pseudonym for a range of sort of small ensembles that worked through the different record companies. You hear them on various discs, including Xonophones and Columbias and HMVs back in the day. So we'll hear another dance track from the very early 1920s, acoustic recordings, direct to air. This is an original 78, an American 78. It's a graphanola. In fact, it's a Columbia, courtesy of the Columbia Graphophone Company. And we are, of course, testing on 160 and also on 40 metres and on UHF. I'm vk3sl. Okay, Vix, you're not seasick. That record is a slightly pressed off centre, so it gives us the wow factor, additional wow factor. Interesting record, nevertheless. It's sort of got a lot of ragtime aspirations, proto jazz in a sense, particularly with that percussion element. And yeah, pretty early on. That's an acoustic record from about 1920, 21, thereabouts. Okay, I don't know if Frank's with us today. I'll just keep the channel open. I think it's working though, which is sort of relief. So just a word that we are going out now on 40 metres as well as 160 and also on UHF. So I thought I'd play a few tracks from Stanley Kirby. He was an English baritone, sang lots of ballads, Edwardian bilge ballads, but he also sang a number of songs addressing the topic of the First World War. So I thought, being Anzac Day, we'd play a few of these. They are very interesting. They're very much a signature of the times, and some of the songs are more reflective. Some have a slight sort of propaganda flavour to them as well. Others, I won't say any of them are anti-war, but I think they certainly reflect the consciousness of the Brits in the 1915 period. So what do we have? We've got Stanley Kirby on a Regal record here, and here we go. The first one I'll play is a track called "Tell My Daddy to Come Home Again." So interesting discs. So save them up for Anzac Day and for special occasions, and we'll play a number of them now. It's a handful here, going back to 1915. I'm vk3sl.
The soldier told his baby son the tale of a war and a big siege gun, and how his comrades had fought and died, and the baby listened and softly cried, "Daddy, will you have to go back soon?" And the soldier went back after noon. And the wee boy said in a voice so sweet to a soldier one day whom he happened to meet, "Tell my daddy to come home again, please, Mr. Soldier Man. Tell my daddy to come home again, as soon as ever he can. Tell him when I go to bye-bye, I can hear the pipe and drum, and I dream about the war, and I don't want to sleep no more until my daddy comes home." Tell him when I go to bye-bye, I can hear the pipe and drum, and I dream about the war, and I don't want to sleep no more until my daddy comes home.
Doing a selection of ballads from the First World War featuring Stanley Kirby. I found a collection of these discs in Warrnambool about 20 odd years ago, and I sort of save them up for special occasions. And I don't know how audible they are at distance. They are pretty scratched, and they are all of acoustic recordings, of course, but they are the original discs we are playing to air. And we'll continue and hear another recording of Stanley Kirkby. And I can tell you before we start that he was born and brought up in Manchester, and he won first prize in a baritone singing competition at the age of 22, and he moved to London, and he had a number of collaborations, and I think he was enormously popular. He was born in 1878 and died in 1949. Ballad singer. He was one of the highest paid recording artists of his time, and made thousands of records. How about that? Isn't that incredible? We don't even know of him now. He's sort of lost to our age. But yeah, he was involved with a number of reviews, sang a lot of Gilbert and Sullivan. But yeah, he was a noted ballad singer, and he did record under many different pseudonyms, apparently. Anyhow, we'll hear another one called Won't You Join the Army, is the name of the song. First World War Music Day today from Anzac Day, for Anzac Day on vk3sl.
Fairies are not dancing in the moonlit glade and dell. They are busy putting mortals underneath their fairy spell. And the fairy boy who wanders o'er the world at work and play longs to put the boys of Britain neath his fairy spell today. Neath the spell of England's honour, one who's British born himself wants to hold you, for I've told you, Puck's a little English elf. He's going to fight for England, and he wants you everyone to join the little army that is out against the whole. Won't you join the army? Won't you come with me? Won't you come with me, boys, to Berlin on the spree? Say goodbye to Kate on, and she'll be proud that you're a man. Won't you come? Won't you come and join? Won't you come and join with me? Of all the gallant deeds you've done, we've heard in fairyland. We know that ne'er a foe of old your valor could withstand. But now there's danger on the sea and danger on the shore that Britain in her island pride has never known before. The land that no invader's foot has trod since Harold's day is threatened by a foreign horde who helpless women slay. Then up for women band and homely men of British blood to pluck the German eagle's crest and damn the German blood. Won't you join the army? Won't you come with me? Won't you rally round the flag across the northern sea? Say goodbye to Kate on, and she'll be proud that you're a man. Won't you come? Won't you come and join? Won't you come and join with me? Won't you join the army? Won't you come with me? Won't you rally round the flag across the northern sea? Say goodbye to Kate on, and he'll be proud that you're a man. Won't you come? Won't you join? Won't you come and join with me?
Recording featuring Stanley Kirkby, recorded around about 1916, that period. And these records playing today because it's Anzac Day, and it's nice to give these records an airing. They certainly reflect the sentiment of the times. A slightly different vibe to the other side of that record, this Regal disc. The Regal was the sort of second tier company for, was a subsidiary of Columbia Records. It was sort of their budget label. And we'll hear another of Stanley Kirkby's wartime, First World War renditions. This one is different sentiment, actually. It's quite interesting compared to what we've just heard. It's called Somebody's Boy. I'll play this on a different turntable, see if we can get a better signal to noise ratio. But It's worth a go. I'm vk3sl, by the way, testing.
A little cottage with the lights aglow. The door is open there. A grey-haired couple in the firelight glow gaze at the vacant chair. Their thoughts are far away of home, singing from the street. Oh, somebody's boy is out at the front. Somebody's boy is bearing the brunt. Somebody's heart is aching, aching away, gazing across the foam. Somebody's boy will bring somebody joy when somebody's boy comes home. The postman pauses at the old folks' door. A letter he leaves there. Dear mother mine, it reads a fighting's o'er. Who on her breathes its stress. Now, darling boy, stay home, Mrs. Somebody's boy is out at the front. Somebody's boy is bearing the brunt. Somebody's heart is aching, aching, almost breaking. Somebody's eyes are filling with tears, gazing across the moor. Somebody's boy will bring somebody joy when somebody's boy comes home.
First World War era record featuring Stanley Kirkby. It was interesting. I was just reading some anecdotes about him, and he was actually rejected for military service in the army for the First World War. Not sure of the exact circumstances, but he certainly did his bit making all these records. Sorry about the condition with that one. That's had some needle digs, so that record's a bit worse for wear. But they are pretty old. They're almost 110 years old. We'll play another one now. This is called Boys in Khaki, Boys in Blue. Another Regal disc featuring Mr. Kirkby. So we'll just wind up the gramophone and continue.
Sing the song of Britannia, sing in praise of Britain's boys. Jolly Jack the sailor with his breezy style, Mr. Tommy Atkins of the rank and file. They're two lads we can depend on when danger comes our way. For their fathers all were fighters, and what's bred in the bone is sure to come out someday. Boys in khaki, boys in blue, here's the best of jolly good luck to you. You're all right in love or war. You'll get there again just the same as you've done before. Boys in khaki, boys in blue, it's no idle boast or brag. When we get you both together, there's going to be dirty weather for anyone who crunches on the flag. Sing the wonderful Britannia. Now they're fighting what to do. Ever staunch and ready when the hour is nigh. British boys know how to fight and how to die. Let me know you'll do your duty, whatever fate may bring. You've got the pluck and muscle, so make your battle cry for empire, for home and king. Boys in khaki, boys in blue, here's the best of jolly good luck to you. You're all right in love or war. You get there again, just the same as you've done before. Boys in khaki, boys in blue, it's no idle boast or brag. When we get you both together, there's going to be dirty weather for anyone who tramples on the flag.
Rousing stuff from the beginning of the First World War, and a bit of a feature on today's program. Just a word that we are going out on 40 metres as well. For those who are uninitiated, we've been doing this for quite a few years, and mainly on 160 and on UHF, and now trying out 40 metres as well. So we've got an added dimension to the program, and we usually try for about 8 hours a week. It doesn't always happen that way because I'm often busy, but when I'm here I like to play these original recordings to air, and there is a certain a sense of nostalgia. We sort of listen to original material where possible. That's the sort of the catalyst anyhow. We'll hear more. Another 78. This is a Beaker Grand record. Beaker Records. I think they were actually made in Germany, which is sort of a bit interesting. I think the Beaker was a German company, English-German sort of thing, and I'd say they would have been out of favour pretty quickly after the war started, so I'm not quite sure what the bigger story is here, but we'll hear another First World War ballad, and this one is called Be a Man, Enlist Today, and yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll play this one. This actually features Robert English as the baritone. I was trying to look him up, and I'm not sure if Robert English is a pseudonym. I think not, but I can't give any more biographicals for him. But anyhow, here we go. Back to 1915. I'm vk3sl.
Once more our mother is calling, once more she's facing the fall, once more her sons can now answer, bravely to help her they call. Now that all England's in danger, loud goes the cry o'er the foam, Mother, your sons will stand beside you, fight for old England and home. Now, Australia, do your duty. Help your mother o'er the phone. Take your gun and stand beside her. Don't be called a stay-at-home. These not words, my boy, are wanted. Throw yourself into the fray. Now's the time to show your courage. Be a man, enlist today. When you're at home by the fireside, reading the news of the war, telling of deeds full of glory, and in those regions afar, shame you should sit there in comfort, knowing you should share the strife. Brother, your king and country need you. Right for old England and life. No, Australia, do your duty. Help your mother o'er the phone. Take your gun and stand beside her. bound to be called a fool. See, not words, my boy, are wanted. Throw yourself into the fray. Now's the time to show your courage. Be a man and live today.
I wonder how many people were mobilised after hearing these records. And very much a galvanising theme here. I think a number of these came out just before the war started in full swing. Early days of the First World War. The other side is Till the Boys Come Home, and it's another track featuring Stanley Kirkby. So we'll play this, another Beaker Grand record. These records have a ridge around the edge to stop your steel needle from falling off the gramophone and doing insurmountable damage. And they're an unusual label. Trying to look at the symbol on them. Can't make sense of it. Looks like a bird, maybe? I don't know. It's a Beaker Grand anyhow, I can tell you that much. And we'll hear more. I'm vk3sl.
We were summoned from the hillside, we were called in from the glen, and the country found us ready at the stirring call for men. Let's not hear that to their hardship as the soldiers pass along. And although your heart is breaking, make it sing this year is gone. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out, hear the boys come home. Overseas there came a pleading, help a nation in distress, and we gave our glorious laddies honor bade us do no less. Oh, no gallant son of Britain, to a foreign yoke shall bend, and no Englishman is silent to the sacred call of friend. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out, hear the boys come home.
Okay, there we go. Quite a selection of First World War era ballads sung by some of the leading baritones of the day, recorded way back when. These are original discs, direct to air. So we'll continue now with something else from the batch, something a bit different, I think. So many more of these, but we'll save them for next year. This next record's very interesting, and it's from the Ministry of Post-War Reconstruction. And these came out just after the Second World War. And they're quite interesting. They're certainly got a very particular slant, as you will gather. There is an agenda, very much. And what's this? The Ministry of Post-War Reconstruction, yes. It's got a chip out of it, this disc, so we'll have to sort of make do. But I think that can be reconciled. So I'll just cue it up first. And I think they tell a story, and there's a bit of fear-mongering going on, but we're sort of all used to that, so you'll get the vibe.
You used to be a clerk, salesman, butcher, cook, farmer. I've driven your trams, I've delivered your letter, I've mended your boots. I was a labourer, message boy, truck driver, a builder. I was a reporter, a student, a musician. Yes, I'm one man, yet I'm all men. Right now I'm wearing jungle green up in New Guinea, oil-stained overalls in a munition factory, dungarees dirty with the red dust of the outback. Yes, I'm all of those men. And when I come back from the war, when the munition factories no longer want me, I'll be needing a job. Will there be one for me? Or will it be the same as after the last war? $19.20.
What a life. Plenty of jobs, plenty of money.
Yeah, but look at the prices. They've skyrocketed. It's crazy. It can't last.
$19.21.
I told you it wouldn't last. Look how things are now. We're in for a depression.
Oh, it's only temporary. Things will pick up. You'll see.
$19.27.
There you are. I knew everything would be all right. The people say we've made a recovery. A slow one, sure, but we're on the right track.
$19.29.
So we've recovered. Recovered for what? The worst depression in the history of the world.
Yes, I guess you're right. What was the use of the war? We won it with our blood, yet we've lost the peace through our neglect.
1930, 1932, 1933, 34, 35. Long, slow years of unemployment, hunger and want. Slowly, but oh how slowly, the nation made its recovery. By 1939, Australia had struggled towards reasonable prosperity. Unemployment figures had dropped. The sun shone again. Then, war.
Excuse me, but I'll take over from here. War is the people's business. We're the ones who win it or lose it. That we will win, there's no doubt. But will we win the peace? That, too, is our business.
May I interrupt?
Depends on what you have to say. Who are you?
Call me Reconstruction. Post-war Reconstruction.
Your title sounds impressive. What have you to tell us?
Plenty. I have a plan for the peace. I'd like you to tell me what you think of it.
I will.
First of all, there's your job, the one we've planned for you after the war. During the war, the Australian industry expanded by leaps and bounds. Full use must be made of that industry so that there'll be full and continuous employment for all.
That sounds intelligent.
It's not enough to make work available for every man and woman requiring it, but it must be the right work for the individual.
I fully agree.
Many will want training for their job. Technical college courses will be open for those eligible. They will receive training, books, living allowances at the government's expense.
You have planned well.
Thank you. Then there's the housing problem. Slums must go, and in their place there must be solid, modern, hygienic houses of which a man may be justly proud. The people must have social protection from economic setbacks of sickness and disability. The people must develop in a land that is free from, as the Atlantic Charter puts it, free from want, freedom from fear.
That's the post-war Australia we want.
That is the post-war Australia you'll get. But remember, the task will not be easy. Nothing is ever easy in this world. These tasks Australia will face are so big that they must be planned on a national basis. But carrying the plans through to action will tax the resources of all our authorities, whether they're Commonwealth, state or local. Remember, only we the people can help to realize this. It's up to us.
You have been listening to a program presented by the Ministry of Post-War Reconstruction.
Okay, whoa. That was something very different. It comes from a very large collection of such recordings, and I only have one of them here, but Mr. J, who's a close friend of the program, has got the full archive. That's a double. They are very socially very interesting and reflects the sentiment of the time, what they were trying to peddle, and the Columbia process recordings designed for radio. There's another sessionette. They call them sessionettes. I'll play the other side while I've got the record out. It has got a bite, so we have to sort of guess what the first 30 seconds is about. But yes, I mean, this is I'm not aligning myself to anything that's said on these records. They are very much a historical document, but yes, they are very telling about the way Australia were reflecting on themselves just after the Second World War.
Oh, how'd you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Won't you come in?
Oh, thanks.
I suppose you've come to the right house. I didn't expect anyone from a magazine.
Well, this is the way of it. We're running a feature this month on the home front woman, the average housewife who keeps the home going while the menfolk are away. She's the unsung heroine of the home front. We want to give her a break.
I see. And you want to feature me?
As being typical, yes. I think we've struck lucky, don't you, Jack?
Yes, Mr. Kerry.
Yes, you photograph very nicely, Mrs. Lamson. Have we your permission to go ahead and take pictures?
Oh, heavens. You mustn't photograph me like this. I've got an apron on and my hair's untidy.
All the better for our purpose. Now, we'll get a shot of you here arranging the flowers. Then we'll go to the kitchen and have you pottering around the stove. Then, what about one of you writing to your son in the Navy?
How did you know I had a son?
We found out all about you, Mrs. Lamson. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Oh, but I wish you'd let me tidy myself. Goodness, whatever will my husband say?
Think of your husband at his work and your son on active service. Think of anything except me and the camera.
Shall I stand by this table?
That'll do. Just take the flowers out of the vase and rearrange them. There, that's the idea. Jack,
Yes, Mr. Kerry.
just look at her hands.
Her hands, Mr. Kerry?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, let your hands rest on the flowers a moment. That's right. Her hands aren't young. They're work-worn and... steady, please, Mrs. Lamson.
Oh, how much longer?
Well, that'll do, thanks. Now, would you mind going into the kitchen now?
All right. This way.
What lovely hands she has.
They seem just ordinary hands to me, Mr. Kerry.
Did they? I'm sorry for you, Jack. Yes, very sorry. But of course, you haven't been on active service yet. You haven't been wounded and racked with fever and lain in the heat, praying for death. You felt a miracle.
A miracle, sir?
The miracle of two soft hands on your forehead, cooling and soothing you. Two soft hands, two very willing hands, ready to work hard and keep on working. And woman's hands, Jack. You can never forget them.
I suppose not, Mr. Kerry.
I'm afraid I won't have much of a picture to take back to the magazine. Just a woman's hands, resting from work, resting among the flowers she's plucked from her suburban garden. A woman on the home front, and her willing hands.
The women of Australia have risen nobly to the crisis of war. Nearly 200,000 of them are directly concerned with war work of some sort, and there are many thousands more who, like Mrs. Lamson, are simple, ordinary women, struggling to do a good job in difficult times, keeping the lights of home burning brightly. But no matter what a woman's job is today, she can make a contribution to the future by giving intelligent support to the nation's post-war reconstruction plans. Plans for better housing, for healthier children, for bigger schools and improved working conditions for girls. These are plans which can only be dealt with on a national basis. The only possible authority capable of putting such plans into effect is the National Parliament.
Well, directly from the Department of Post-War Reconstruction. Those records were issued, I think, in about 1946, thereabouts. And certainly an interesting take on the social dynamic. I'm not going to say anything else. I'll let the music, the little sessionette speak for itself. But they are fascinating, and some of them are quite challenging. I'll have to find the others. I've got them all on a file somewhere. We'll play more on a future program. Okay, to something completely different now, and I have in my hand a pile of V-discs. V-discs were issued for the troops, and they were used in the barracks and maybe in the field in some capacity. They're made on a sort of vinylette material, and the idea that these records were supposed to be destroyed after use. I don't think they were supposed to enter into the into the public domain. So they're a little bit scarce. You don't see them very often, and I've just got a small collection here, which I'll play a few of. So some of them have messages, and others messages from the troops, from the artists in question, and others are just directly cut to disc. But very much it's entertainment for the troops, and they are really worth listening to. They're absolutely fascinating and very sincere performances. So we'll kick off with the King Cole Trio. Nat King Cole's trio have in sort of the very beginning of his his long career. Well, not that long, because he died of cancer, didn't he, Nat King Cole, in the 60s. But this is wartime fare. So it's 2 tracks. If you can't smile and say yes, please don't cry and say no. And another one called A Pile of Coal. Pile of Coal, it says. 2 tracks on a single side of a 12-inch V-disc. So we'll cue this one up. And I can't get enough of Nat King Cole. Testing.
This is Johnny Miller, the bass player. This is Oscar Moore, the guitar player. And this is Nat King Cole. The 3 of us are going to bring to you a few special V-discs, and we hope that you will enjoy them, cats. Knock me a kiss, you never miss, when I'm ready to go. But if you can't smile and say yes, please don't cry and say no. Squeeze me a squoze in these fine clothes. I love you so. But if you can't smile and say yes, please don't cry and say no. When I ask for a date, the answer is no. You don't know what you're saying. Don't you know the war's on, everything is rationed. How about that jive? Keep me alive. Baby, let bygones be bygones, 'cause men are scarce as nylons. And if you can't smile and say yes, please don't cry and say no.
Sorry, folks, I was called out and just missed the end of that. I was listening early on. It's marvellous stuff. I love the way the artists introduce these records. They're flexi discs, V discs, in fact. Okay, the other side is Yank Lawson and his orchestra featuring Will Bradley, who was a great trombonist. And it's a Gershwin track called "Oh Lady Be Good," well known to most people, I would say. I'm vk3sl. Joe Stafford and... No, not Joe Stafford. I was looking at a Joe Stafford disc. Will Bradley was the trombonist there, and Yank Lawson and his orchestra. It's a song I associate with the likes of Ella Fitzgerald. Another King Cole trio on a V disc. It says on the label, War Department Music Section Athletic and Recreation Branch, Special Services Division, ASF. And with special instructions for these not to be distributed. Well, they have been, thank goodness, and we're lucky to have them in our midst. And most likely brought out by US servicemen during the war, the fact that when they turn up in Australia. But this one features the King Cole Trio once more, and All For You and I Can't See For Lookin'. The names of the tracks, and a warm hello to Mr. Fleming who's listening in. And hi there, John. We'll catch up. I have some photos to send you. Indeed.
When you raise your eyes and make believe, all the stars come out and paint a world of blue. There's my heart right up your sleeve, waiting all for you. When you smile on me, the world is mine, and the dreams I dream I know will all come true. Every care becomes divine, waiting all for you. My heart is beating to the old refrain when I'm alone with you. My heart's repeating I'm in love again. Can't we hold a rendezvous? The dreams I dream, the song I sing, you're the stars and moon, and nearly everything. Life would be a symphony, waiting all for you. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I've lost my touch. I guess I don't know what's cooking, 'cause I just can't see for looking. Other boys have their chicks, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I don't seem to get a booking, 'cause I just can't see for looking. I'm kinda crazy, like a daisy, up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Want some sister take a chance with me? I've been around the town, everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no gals for hooking, I just can't see for looking. I've been around the town, everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no gal for hooking. I just can't see for looking. No, just can't see for looking. No, no.
Can't get enough of Nat King Cole and the trio. Marvellous stuff. So chill. Listening to a series of V-discs issued to troops during the Second World War. The reverse side of that is recording with none other than Paul Whiteman and his orchestra, but it's a classic. It's an absolute classic with Billie Holiday. So, yeah, I'm pleased she made this record. We've featured it a number of times on the program. It's marvellous. But, yeah, I'll let the music speak for itself. We're testing, of course, on 160, on 40 metres, and also on UHF.
because my man has gone, and from now on I'm traveling light. He said goodbye and took my heart away. So from today I'm traveling light. No one to see, I'm free as the breeze. No one but me and my memories. Some lucky night he may come back again, but until then I'm traveling
The other day with Paul Wyman and the orchestra on a V-disc. Classic Billy. There's a few other Billy holidays in this batch too. We might save those for when we catch up with Frank next. And I should mention that there is a plan for a late night missions tonight. I don't know how late I'll go, but I'm not even sure Frank's around. I haven't had a chance to give him a call. But yeah, aim to start at 11:30. Won't be using 40 metres, of course, tonight. No point. But yeah, we should be up and about from 11 o'clock for a little while. Play play a few faves. There's lots of 78s here. In fact, there's quite a few newies too. There's a box of records I picked up not that long ago, and there's a few goodies there which we can sample. Okay, another V-disc. Oh, this one's had better days. I think this one might have been kicking around the mess hall. In fact, I reckon someone's eaten their meal off this record. It is pretty knocked about. It does feature Joe Stafford and the orchestra with Paul Weston. You never know. Sometimes they can sound better than they look. But we'll give it a burl. And 2 tracks. If it's really bad, I'll just abort and we can find something else. There's lots in the pile. But we have in our midst When Our Hearts Were Young and Gay and Yesterdays. 2 tracks featuring Joe Stafford with the orchestra conducted by Paul Weston. Playing V-discs, acknowledging Anzac Day 2025. I'm vk3sl.
Bring me back those wonderful days when our hearts were young and gay. Bring me back those light-hearted days when our hearts were young and gay. Sweet recollections that cling to me so of the people and places I loved long ago. So bring me back those wonderful days when our hearts were young and gay. Sweet recollections that cling to me so of the people and places I loved long ago. So bring me back those wonderful days when our hearts were young, young and gay.
Okay, there we go. Yes, they're quick to exit these discs. And another V disc from the collection on vk3sl. We're testing, of course, and just riffing through piles of original records. Haven't even used YouTube today, so this is the way I like it, actually. Got to use these records. That's what they're here for. So anyhow, we'll play the next one barefoot. I'm not going to use the noise processing because I want to. The SDR's timed out, and I want to see how 40's getting out. So we'll do a check on that. And what do we have? We have a record here of Frank Sinatra and Dinah Shore. A track called My Romance. Pretty early, actually. It says on the label, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard. Okay, this is number 606 in the series. And no other information. But, early Frank Sinatra is always good. I prefer him in this era. The problem is you've got to wrestle these records onto the turntable spindle because they are quite... they've got small holes. Right, there we go. I think we're ready to zip. We'll hear another one or two, and then I'll wind up for today. And we should be back tomorrow, should be back on Sunday, and also late night program tonight where we'll play some classical faves.
Doesn't have to have a moon in the sky. My romance doesn't need a blue lagoon standing by.
No month of May, no twinkling star,
No no soft guitar.
my romance doesn't need a castle rising in Spain, nor a dance to a constantly surprising refrain.
Wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you. My romance doesn't have to have a moon in the sky. My romance doesn't need a blue lagoon standing by. No month of May,
No twinkling star,
no hideaway,
no soft guitar.
my romance doesn't need a castle rising
Nor a dance to a constantly surprising refrain.
wide awake. I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you.
Frank Sinatra and Dinah Shore, and both in really fine form. I really enjoy these early Sinatras. I think he's just great. Beautiful sense of line, lovely grain to his voice. It all sort of went south after the 50s, I reckon, though. But that's just my opinion. That was, yes, Dinah Shore. I really like her voice too. The other side of this one is a slightly more upbeat track. I think it starts off with, Amada Mia, then Button Up Your Overcoat, sort of two rather well-known tracks featuring Helen Forrest and Dick Hames. So we'll play side B on the same turntable, I think. All seems to work quite well. The needles, the styly fit quite well.
Forever, and let forever begin tonight. Amada mia, when we're together, I'm in a dream world of sweet delight. Many times I've whispered, Amada mia. It was just a phrase that I'd heard in plays. I was acting a part. But now when I whisper, Amada mia, can't you tell I care by the feeling there? For it comes from my heart, my one and ever, my love, my darling, will be to hold you and hold you tight. Amada mia, love me forever, and let forever begin tonight.
Many times I've whispered, Amada mia. It was just a phrase that I heard in plays. I was acting a part.
But now when I whisper, Amada mia, can't you tell I care by the feeling there? For it comes from my heart, my one and ever, my love, my darling, will be to hold you and hold you tight. Amada mia, love me forever, and let forever begin tonight. Button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Eat an apple every day, get to bed by 3. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Be careful crossing streets.
Don't eat me.
Well, all right. Cut out sweets.
You get a pain and ruin your tum-tum.
Keep away from bootleg hooch when you're on a spree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Button up your overcoat when the wind is free.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
And be sure you
Wear your flannel underwear when you climb a tree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
Don't sit on hornet's tail
Oh, that's silly.
or on nail
Get pretty sticky too, you know.
or third rail.
That, my friend, is suicide.
You'll get a pain and ruin your tum-tum.
Oh, don't go out with college boys
Why?
when you're on a spree. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
There you go, Helen Forrest and Dick Hames there from a wartime VDisc issue. And vk3sl, we're testing, of course, and, well, I don't need to say that anymore, I don't think. I'll continue to say it until it's enshrined in the new legislation, but I think they're taking entertainment out of the discussion. So that will be potentially quite liberating. Well, I will wind up at this point, back again tonight, and I've just realised I've got an episode of Marjorie Stedford and Strings, which I wouldn't mind playing. I was looking for that for ages. But I've got a file here of some of Jamie's wonderful selections, unique material. But I thought I'd play something that's got a very distinct wartime flavour, Second World War in this instance, and that'll be our wind-up for today. And then we'll have more missions later on tonight and thereon. Saturday, Sunday, as it goes. So thanks for listening, folks, and greetings to people listening on 40 metres. It's the first time we've done a comprehensive on 40. It seems to be holding up pretty well. No major issues, and so I'm sort of hopeful that we'll have this as a part of the ensemble now. We should hopefully have as much interface as we can. So think about it, there's quite a few go-to places. You've got 160, 1865, you've got 40 metres, which is 7.285, and you've got UHF, which is 438.725, and then of course our streaming service online. So you just look me up, vk3sl on YouTube, and there's a dedicated space for these missions and a log of many, many hundreds, if not thousands of programs. We've been doing it for quite some years, and they're all there. So that's the way it works. I will say cheerio, look forward to your company later on.
call for arms, Australia answered without delay. In desert sands and by tropic palms, we fought and driven the foe away. Democracies need have no fear, the day of liberation's near. We're on the way to win the war, as the fathers were victorious before. The Army, the Navy, and the Air Force too, all keeping up the colors of the old red, white, and blue. On the road to victory, we will fight until democracy is free. So enemies beware, for Australia will be there. We're on the way to win the war.